Why do we read? I mean, really, why? Is it just to escape for a little while? Or is it something deeper? Today, we're going to dig into that very question, and we'll be using this incredible book series called Fragmented Universes by Mirella R.G. as our guide to unlock the real power of reading. Let's get into it. Okay, just look at this. On one side, you have the raw, gritty, snow-covered world from a book called The Red Snow. And on the other, a neon-drenched, cyberpunk dystopia from Half in Flames. Now, here's the crazy part. These are from the exact same series. This contrast right here shows us one of the biggest reasons we read, to journey to completely different worlds without ever leaving our chair.
You know, every book is pretty much an invitation, right? It's a portal just waiting to be opened. It's a chance to step into a reality that an author has built from the ground up, a world with its own history, its own feeling, its own rules. And sometimes those rules are there specifically to make us question our own.
But these worlds are so much more than just a cool backdrop. The author here does something unbelievably bold. She doesn't just invent a new place. She completely rewrites one of the most basic rules we live by, time itself. And that's where really great fiction just hooks you. It pushes you to see everything differently.
Which brings up a pretty wild question, doesn't it? What if our whole idea of time, days, weeks, months, was just made up? What if we could connect it back to something more natural, something we can actually see and feel?
Take a look at this date from the book. S2879, L11 Iraluna, D16 Tremilli. Yeah, it's confusing, right? It's meant to be disorienting. It makes absolutely no sense at first glance. And that's the moment the book asks you to let go of everything you know and learn a totally new rhythm. So, what in the world is it? It's called the Luna Solar Gaia Calendar. And instead of our normal, rigid grid, this is a system where time is actually tied to things you can see in nature. The equinox, the real phases of the moon, the ocean tides, even the amount of sunlight in the sky. It's like a living, breathing calendar. And this is where we get to the philosophy behind it all. The author actually calls our standard calendar an anti-calendar, because it forces an abstract anti-rhythm on us. See, this isn't just a clever fantasy detail. It's a powerful critique of how disconnected we've all become from the world around us. And that's a huge reason we read, to get our perspectives totally shaken up. But let's be real, a world, no matter how cool, is just an empty stage without characters we can connect with. And that brings us to the next big reason we read, to find these powerful figures, these archetypes that speak to something buried deep inside all of us. So, meet Trix. This portrait is of her. Just look at her for a second. That intensity, that strength. The art alone tells you so much about survival and power, doesn't it? She's a huge character in this universe, and she's the embodiment of the she-wolf archetype. And this description just nails it. A force of nature, an absolute alpha wolf, fierce, sensitive, unbreakable. We get so drawn to characters like Trix because they represent these primal archetypes, the wild woman, the survivor, that echo our own strengths and our own struggles. We read to see parts of ourselves reflected back, but bigger, clearer. Okay, so we read to explore worlds. We read to connect with characters. But what if there's an even bigger role for us to play? This brings us to a final and honestly kind of revolutionary idea about why we read. Maybe the reader isn't just watching. Maybe we're part of the creation. The author has this amazing word for it, co-tessitura, which basically means co-weaving. The idea is that a book isn't a static object. It's a living thing, and every single time a new person reads it, the universe gets a little bigger. Your imagination, your feelings, all of it gets woven right into the fabric of the story itself. As she puts it so simply, thus, each reading also becomes a co-weaving. I mean, just think about that for a second. It completely changes things. You're not just consuming a story, you're actively helping create its meaning. Reading becomes a partnership. So, exploring new worlds, questioning reality, finding ourselves in powerful characters, and even co-creating the story, these are the deep, powerful reasons we answer the call to read. And every single book is a brand new call to a new journey. And what's cool is, this author even gives you a map for where to go next. If you felt that pull from the she-wolf archetype in Trix, she lays out these reading pads for you. These are all non-fiction books that dive deep into themes of the wild woman, the heroine's journey, and feminine power. It's such a brilliant way to keep the journey going even after the story ends.
And I absolutely love this little personal note she adds about the book Women Who Run with the Wolves. She says, "I swear, you'll go in one person and come out another. It's an awakening." That right there, that's the passion that captures the exact transformative power we're all hoping for when we crack open a book.
So, in the end, this one series really shows us a universal truth, doesn't it? Books are portals. They challenge us, they mirror us, and they invite us to become a part of their world. Which leaves just one last question for you. Which universe are you going to explore next?